Tanisha Thames, clinical psychologist here in the Los Angeles area. How is everyone this great Tuesday evening? I know many of you are out going to get your tacos and margaritas, right? Not me. I decided to stay in. After all, it is May 2023. If you don't know, May just so happens to be Mental Health Awareness Month. So that's what we're going to talk about all month long. Not that we can't talk about other things, of course we can. You're here with Dr. T. And so I am happy to share this time with you, my time with you, special time, special moments where we can get to know each other. I'm here to answer your questions. So if you have any questions, please feel free to call in. There is a phone number that I have left you all with. You're able to call in. You can ask your questions. The number is 323-543-5055. I believe that's the number. I sure hope it's correct. If I'm incorrect, please someone enter it so that you guys can call in and ask your questions. You can also ask your questions by simply typing on the screen. I know that I am on multiple outlets through social media. I am streaming through StreamYard. You are also watching me on Facebook Live. You're also looking at me through LinkedIn, so hello. You are watching me on my YouTube channel and also on Twitter and Twitch. I hope that I have all of those in. So I'm brand new to Twitch, so this is new for me. So thank you for having me for all of those outlets and media sites and channels. I'm very excited to be a part of any and everything that will have me. I'm here to spread information and news to keep our people aware of things that are happening to us, around us, and to people that we love so that we can know how to go to resources and just how to find out information that can help us, as well as information that can help other loved ones in things that are happening in the world. So before we get started and before we go into our topic of mental health, there are some other mental health things to be aware of. Dealing with the LGBTQ, A plus community. Forgive me if I don't know all the letters. No disrespect there. But I just want to say that I was looking, and I'm looking now on my Instagram. I try to be aware of things that are happening in the world, in different parts of the world. And, you know, it's just really sad when we continue to see racism at its best. And before I get started, let me go ahead and post here in my StreamYard the correct phone number if you wish to call. Oh, you guys, I stand corrected. 323, if someone wouldn't mind putting this in the chat. Give me a moment, you guys. 543 It's like having your own phone number. You like really never dial it, so you don't remember it. All right, but this is a totally random number. And of course, I had it up on the screen and lost it. But as I'm pulling this number back up, I know someone who's heading to Ohio, and I was looking at something that I actually put on my Facebook stories, where there are huge Nazi groups that are gathering in Ohio to stop, in their way, gay and lesbian communities. So forgive me on the letters, no disrespect, but I don't have it in front of me. But I just think that it's horrible, and I think that it's really sad to continue to pretend that you have any superiority over anybody in an effort to stop something or a movement that you don't like. Okay, when it comes to us as Black people, we're being killed, on the side of the road, or as we run down the street for exercise or whatever it is, simply because of the color of our skin. And it's happening to gay people because they choose to like the same sex, and it's just ridiculous. So I want you guys to be aware, if you're traveling in the Ohio area, or if you live in the Ohio area, to please be aware of what is happening in the state of Ohio. It's not just in Columbus, which is where I saw it was happening, but it also happened in Akron. The point that is happening at all is enough for me, and I hope that it is enough for you. And so, if that's somewhere that you don't have to be, then please don't be there. There's so much happening in the world. I just would hate for anybody to be killed or accosted or have to go through excess drama, especially as we are in the month of May, and we know that drama and stressors can magnify those of us who suffer with any mental health, and it can also bring out any mental health conditions perhaps that we don't even know that we have, which may be laying dormant inside of our bodies. So we have to be more cognizant, that is, more aware of what is happening to us and potentially what can happen to us. Okay, so I stand corrected on the phone number. It is area code 323-543-5506. I'm going to write it down, probably on the wall right here. Okay, so again, area code 323-543-5506. So you are welcome to call in and call me. I am Dr. Tatanisha Timms, clinical psychologist. I am also a school psychologist, so I have expertise when it comes to children like crazy, especially as it relates to education. And guess what? Mental health is everywhere. It's not just in the hospitals. Mental health is everywhere. There are so many people that are walking around who have not been diagnosed. There are so many people who are walking around who have misdiagnoses. Okay? It's important that when you're in my profession that you get it right the first time. You got to get it right the very first time. It is so imperative that you do. Okay? Because guess what? When you don't, you have the potential of interrupting or messing up another person's life. Right? And certainly people deserve for you to do your best by them. Point blank, period. So no excuses about that. So you have to take the time, to take your time, to make sure that you are coming up with the right diagnosis. Now, how do we diagnose for mental health? So glad that question is on the floor. All right? Diagnosing for mental health, it is not something that is taken lightly. It is something that takes great skill. That is why we go to school for many, many, many years to learn how to do it. There are things called criteria that have to be met. That means that there's a set of rules that you have to follow, and you cannot deviate from those rules. And those rules are not meant to be subjective. It's not your opinion. No. It is not your opinion. No one cares about what you think, Susie. It is based on different scales and measures, observations, and somebody is texting me. I think it's one of my sisters, and I have no idea what she's talking about. She knows I'm live. What is she doing? It is based on scales and rules. So it's not your thought. It's not based on because your son behaves that way. I cannot tell you how many times I've encountered teachers, speech therapists, other school psychologists that have had this mentality and this attitude. My daughter has that diagnosis and she acts that way, so he must have that diagnosis too. First of all, what qualifies you to diagnose anybody on anything? And what are you talking about? So I do have someone who is joining me that's going to come on screen. I'm going to add her to the live stream.
Oh, hello.
are you doing today, Queen?
Hey, Dr. T. I didn't know we was live.
Are you okay to be on screen?
Oh yeah, I'm good. I don't know how I'm looking right now, but I'm good.
Looking beautiful as always. Would you like to introduce yourself to the world?
Huh?
You want to introduce yourself to the people?
Oh yes, most definitely. I am Dion Michelle Leslie, CEO of Queen Unity Movement, homeless helper in Los
Okay, so
Angeles, California.
yes, yes, yes. So thank you, Miss Dion Leslie, for joining me tonight. Um, I'm so honored, and I know that you know a lot about mental health. I know that you're working with the dynamic people, our homeless population here in Los Angeles. So I thank you for being on live with me tonight. And we have another young lady that's here that's going to join our panel. Um, I'm going to add her to the stream. You are muted. Can you unmute and introduce yourself to the world, young lady? We have Karma, but you're muted. Uh-oh, we lost Karma's. You're still on, but it says your device is not connected. Sometimes we have a few technical difficulties. Okay, let me bring you back to the stream. Okay, Karma, would you like to introduce yourself to the world?
I can't hear you.
Okay, well we can see and hear you.
I can hear you a little bit, but I got to try to figure this out for a minute. So hold on. I can't. It's too.
Okay. Okay, so when you do, just come back on and introduce yourself to everyone. All right. So Miss Dion, why don't you tell our viewers um, a bit about your experience with mental health and a bit about what you do in Los Angeles. May is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Oh, okay, awesome. Well, I am a advocate in the homeless community in Los Angeles, Gardena, Inglewood, all around the greater Los Angeles area. I experienced homelessness years ago, and that actually brought me into mental health for anxiety, being in the situation I was in back then. Um, but since I did get in, I was able to use my resources and the information that I receive from mental health and implement that in my nonprofit organization to help others in the community that face, mental issues. A lot of people don't start off with mental issues, but I think the longer a person endures homeless situations, um, mental health starts to play a part because a lot of times, a lot of homeless families, they, start to lose hope and start suffering from anxiety and depression. And I had high anxiety being in a homeless situation, and it took me some time and to talk to people and to find out how I could use the situation that happened with myself to guide me to help others that were going through the same situation that I was. So there's always hope and there's always a way out, and it's always good to talk to someone about your mental illness, which was a great help and inspiration to me. And now I'm able to provide services to those who are homeless, and some people are that are disabled. I just met a gentleman that suffered from PSTD, so it started me to just wonder, how this person is affected by it, and how what I could do to help that person. So I just started researching, just to find out, why that person or how that person is going through the situation that he's in. He was in the military, so a lot of veterans are suffering from that disease. So I think that it helps if we can like connect with each other, help other people that are in that situation. So mental health is a serious issue in our community with our veterans and people who are suffering from depression.
Yes, I agree. Like you, I also suffer from anxiety, and if I'm not careful, my anxiety can be very, very high. And when it's high, the only thing I can do is just kind of keep to myself to make sure that I
Hmm.
am just snapping great, you know. And so I've gotten really good over the years of monitoring it because I refuse to let people get on my nerves. I just refuse because I know that that there can take me to a place where I don't want to be. So good. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. So now we have joining back Miss Karma Gardner. So please introduce yourself to the world, Miss Gardner. And I do mean world. We're on several streams.
First, I want to say hi, hi, Dion.
Hi,
Like
how you doing, beautiful queen?
good, thank you. My name is Carmen Gardner, and I'm from Lancaster, California, and I have worked in mental health for 29 years. Um, that's what I do. Work mental health.
Okay. So May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So what are some things or some of your experience in dealing with mental health? And what are some things that you can tell our viewers about mental health and some things to be aware of? Like maybe
Well,
with themselves or their loved ones? Do you see any trends, being that you've been in mental health for 29 years? Do you tend to see any trends at this time of the year?
well, I want to say I can hear Dion real clear, but you I can't. So I don't know if it's the
Oh,
mic or what, but I can't hear you clear. But I can hear Dion real clear.
oh, okay.
Can
Let
you
me
hear
move
me?
up. Yeah, is that a bit better?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a little bit.
yeah, that's better.
Mm.
Okay, I'm sorry. Is that better?
It's better,
Yeah.
but it's not clear like Dion's. But it's better.
Okay, I'll have to work on my microphone.
Mm.
Um, I was asking, being that you've been in mental health for 29 years, do you notice any trends at this time of the year? Now, this is May, and May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Do you notice any trends at this time of the year as it pertains to mental health?
Well, I say that around April and May, the census usually go up around this time. I do see that a lot at our job, at my job. The numbers go up of patients that's being admitted versus during the holidays around October, November, December. They go all the way down to almost sometimes even two patients in a 12-unit um, facility. We hold 12 patients in house, and then so sometimes you can get down to 0 to 2. And right now, we're at almost 12, which is at capacity right now in our unit.
Okay.
So definitely.
Okay. And then how about you, Dion? What do you notice? Do you notice any trends during this time of the year with the homeless population?
I think what happens like during holidays, especially something like Mother's Day, you have a lot of people that have lost their parents or, their grandmothers, and it does cause, people to, be more depressed. Some people, are not able to handle situations as well as others. So I do get a lot of phone calls and a lot of people, saying that they miss their parents, and I'm sure that does lead to, some anxiety with people. So I would say, most definitely during the holidays, the mental health starts to, peak at a higher rate because a lot of people are missing their loved ones and suffering, quietly. So that's why try to be an advocate for those who don't have a voice, to try to bring awareness that they're not alone. A lot of people don't know that other people actually suffer from depression. Sometimes they feel alone. So, and I would say it's a good opportunity now around this time just to reach out to people that you haven't heard from, or if you know they lost a loved one, just try to be that person, to be there for a person that you may think that you haven't heard from in a while, or that they have lost a loved one, and maybe sometimes become sad during the holidays. It's up to us as uh, the stronger side of people like ourselves who have the ability. Sometimes we can overcome things because we know how to handle the situation a little bit better. We may have a better family support. So I would say, to those people who are out there who are, reaching out or trying to reach out for help, if you know a person like that, just, make that phone call, because sometimes, things like that can actually, change someone's life, just picking up the phone and calling someone.
Yeah, reaching out and letting people know that you're thinking about them or you thought about them. Because in reality, life is life, and I always tell people we deal with life on life's terms, meaning that whatever life throws at us, we have to deal with it. You know, we always have choices. We may not like or dig the choices that we're given. There's always an option. So that means that there's always a way out and always an opportunity. Um,
Right,
and with each day, there's always an option or an opportunity. May not be what we like, but if you can make it to that next day and that next day after that day, then you have more choices and more opportunities. And so
right,
then and then sometimes, when people suffer losses or you suffer changes in jobs, changes in relationships, when children begin to move out and go to college, and now you find yourself being that empty nester, which I love, Some people say,
right,
their kids are home all the time. It's like, you're supposed to be away. Why are you back? Right? But
right,
hey, nothing wrong with empty nesting. I enjoy. I love when my son comes to visit, but I love to know that he's embarking upon that part of his life where he's learning to be self-sufficient and as independent as he can be at this point. But when people experience changes, you have to be ready to accept that that is a change. It is something different, and it does do something to you mentally. It changes you. And I think that if people understand that it's okay to feel different and it's okay to accept that that too is a change, it will begin to prepare you for different things. And it's okay to recreate yourself. It's okay to tap into another talent that God gave you, or another. My son says, Mom, you just have hobbies. You just have hobbies. You turn all your hobbies into careers, or all of your hobbies into things to make money. And I'm like, I look at them as talents. You see hobbies, I see talents. So
right.
it's just a difference of opinion, but still, get creative, recreate yourself. Have you guys found yourself doing things like that? So you start off in a job that you turn into a career, or you go back to school and do something else, or something that you're really good at, you turn into a business. Have you guys done things like that?
Well, I know right now I'm doing a lot of research on teas, and the abilities and the capabilities of how tea can help, different things and aspects in your life. So I find myself now, doing a lot of research, for just I can help, maybe carry that information over to someone if they have anxiety, or if someone is experienced constipation, or a lot of things that people use a lot of medication. So before modern medicine, a lot of these teas were used to heal people. So I do find myself, you know, trying to add more spectrums, to things that I find myself learning, and I want to be able to have the ability to share with others and help other people. So, yep, I get more hobbies, more ideas, and get more creative, and just try to, do more than just one thing.
Right.
I think that's natural. I think that's naturally. I think we get that from our ancestors, but we don't really learn those type of things. Like they said, we are created for greatness. So sometimes we don't just have to stop at doing just one.
I agree. What about you, Miss Gardner?
I like cooking. So for me, cooking is one thing that I like. To me, especially soul food is a comfort food. So
Mm,
the mood I'm in depends on what I cook. So my passion is soul food or comfort cooking period, but definitely soul food. One thing I
yeah.
like.
Hmm.
Mhm.
You can come to the valley and make a killing because nobody has good soul food out here.
It would
Yeah.
be
Nobody.
so good if we could get more soul food restaurants, or just get more people out there to just eat more soul food, because like it's soul food for a reason, because it's good for the soul. And greens and cabbage and all that good stuff is good. Yams and all that stuff. That's actually healthy food.
Yeah.
But they want everybody to eat, for some reason, fast food and Mexican food. They're trying to get as far away from soul food, which is, a lot of healing is in soul food. So that's
Yeah.
good, Carmen, that you like making soul food, because when people see other people, people mimic and they do other things that they see other people doing. So when people see other people cooking soul food, that make them like, oh, let me make some soul food.
Yeah.
Yeah, our food is really delicious.
That is a part of our culture.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
is.
and it's tapping into a talent that God gave her, just like God gave you the interest and the talent for healing the body. I've benefited from having things that both of you women have created. I can remember a time when I was sick, Dion, and you put some products together for me that healed my body up with a whole bunch of pineapples, whole bunch of pineapples. It took the pain away and right on up. And then with respect to Karma's cooking and her food, it is absolutely amazing, and she knows how to cook um, in a keto fashion. Because when it comes to, I'm gonna tell you guys something that your Western doctors don't necessarily want to tell you because it interferes with medication. And there goes the dollars and cents. You have to be careful about the foods and things that you're putting in your body. Um, Sugar. Nothing feeds disease faster than sugar. Nothing feeds cancers faster than sugar. How do I know? I'm a cancer survivor by the grace of God. And so when Karma learned how to cook fettuccine in a keto style, and one of my favorite things to eat are the crab boil bags in a keto style. That means without the sugar, without having
Mm,
to process that sugar. Because although I'm a cancer survivor, cancer runs rapidly in my family on both sides. Cancers feed sugar feeds cancer. So for her to be able to cook her foods in a keto style and you don't miss a flavor is important. So
mm.
for both of you, I want you guys to give your information so that Dion, when people want healing from teas, they can call you and reach out to you and get some of the products that you have. And then Karma, when people want to eat healthier foods, they can reach out to you, and then you can offer your catering services because people don't know about you guys because you're not a McDonald's and you're
Mm.
not
Right.
a Starbucks, but that doesn't mean that you can't cater and cook, and that doesn't mean that you can't offer healing products. So
Right.
why don't you guys give your information so that people can connect
Okay.
with you?
Well, I have a website now, www.queenunityservices.com. And I am also on Facebook at Dion, Dionne, middle initial M, Leslie, Leslie. And also Dion's Unity, Dionnes, Unity on Facebook.
And I'm on Instagram on Karma's Soul Food Kitchen. And also my email is karma.gardner, Gardner, at yahoo.com.
Hold on one second. I'm putting it in the chat. Karma's KRMAS Soul Food. Is it two S's
Mm-hmm.
or one?
One.
Karma Soul
Food
Food
Kitchen.
Kitchen, and that's on IG.
Yeah, that's correct.
And then what is it on Instagram? I mean on Facebook.
It's not on Facebook. It's my Yahoo, karma.gardner at yahoo.com.
Okay. So if you guys want sugar-free cooking, where you're not missing a beat in your taste, where you're gonna reduce all that sugar and drop you some weight, keto style, reach out to karma.gardner@yahoo.com or Karma Soul Food Kitchen on Instagram. And if you want some teas that are going to help heal your body, you're going to reach out to Queen Unity. That is Miss Dion Leslie. Okay? And both of these ladies are great at what they do. I have actually had the pleasure of consuming their products. Okay? I think we lost Dion's connection. Oh, she's coming back on. Okay? So we are here talking about mental health. If anybody wants to call in, please feel free. The phone number is 323-543-5506. One day I'm going to remember that. All right, so we are adding Miss Dion back to
I was trying to screenshot Carmen information.
Oh, thank you. All right, so I think
Yeah.
I both there. And then please feel free to put it in the chat on any and everything that I have, even after the calls, so that the people who come on, they can have it. I probably put a typo somewhere. So, and then I don't know what it is, but sometimes when I'm typing, not everything is transposed there. So I want to make sure that you guys get your information out because you both have dynamic products to offer. So next, what I want to do, I believe in sharing information with the public. So I want to share my screen right here. And this right here, I like to share a resource. Okay. And it's not on yet. Let's see. All right. So if you guys can see this, it's kind of small, but it's NAMI, NAMI, and it stands for the National, I'm going to assume, Association for Mental Institution.
Yeah, we have that. Familiar.
Okay. So this right here, if you have questions, mental illness, right? National Association for Mental Illness. So if you have questions about mental illness or mental health conditions, come here and you can look. All right. First thing on here is anxiety disorders. Probably because, as a clinical psychologist, one of the most pressing issues that we are dealing with in terms of diagnoses. Remember, I told you diagnosis is not just Dr. Tim's opinion. Oh, yeah, you got, you got. Matter of fact, I had some, this isn't funny, but I had somebody, he told me, he said, yeah, I have high anxiety. And so I simply repeated back to him, well, you have high anxiety. And so he said to me, well, you diagnosed me with having high anxiety. And I said, diagnose you? You told me you had high anxiety, and I simply agreed. And I said, but you do understand that I am qualified to diagnose you, right? Like, that's really what I do. I got like 30 years in the game. He got offended. And I'm like, geez, Louise. So here's the thing. There's no shame in having a mental health condition. What is the shame in that? It's not like you went around and asked for it. You were born with it. You were genetically predisposed to it. I guarantee you. You were born with it. Somewhere it was in there. Many of them don't pop out until later. Or something happened in your life to that thing was laying dormant until you maybe decided to smoke some weed or drink some drink. And now it appeared because it wasn't dominant. It lay recessive in your genes, encoded in your DNA somewhere. Something happened, or a stressor happened, or a life event happened that caused it to manifest itself. And now it's here, and you have to deal with it. What is the shame? I have no shame to having PTSD. I tell the world, I suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. I had a boy try to kill me. What is the shame? What did I do? I didn't go and say, oh, I'm going to pick up post-traumatic stress disorder today. I'm going to ask this boy to kick my ass to the point to where he causes me permanent damage, lifelong damage. I didn't ask for that. I have no shame in that. I take pride because guess what? I am a walking testimony as to the greatness and how God He's delivering me from that. Does that mean I don't have it anymore? No, I still have it. Very much so. But I don't allow myself to fall victim to it. Which is why I continue to get up every day. I talk to you guys as much as I can. I'm praying every day. I believe in God. Everyone who knows me knows that. I have too many testimonies not to. Mine, yours, his, and hers. Right? And I was telling somebody the other day, I said for like 3 months, I couldn't even do this. I couldn't do this. I couldn't drive. I couldn't do anything. So today I'm walking. I'm lightly dancing. I'm able to drive. I'm able to get in the jacuzzi, right? I'm able to care for myself a bit better. That's a blessing. That is a testimony. But it does not mean that I don't suffer from things that happen to me. Thank God I don't look like what I've been through. I'm a classic case of that. There is no shame in it. The shame is for me to know it and to pretend like I don't. For me to know it and to do nothing to better myself or to help my condition. That's the shame. That's the shame. I still suffer from memory lapses and things like that. But guess what? Bring it to my attention and we can move on. I'm not going to allow you to make a big deal out of it for me. That's how I do.
But I like to say something. Thanks to that. When you don't have a mental illness, you feel, and then and you consider it normal, in a normal world, and then when you get hit with anxiety, stress, depression, whatever it may be, it can be an embarrassing situation, whatever. And especially, for instance, with me working in mental health, and you see bipolar, schizophrenia, you see all kind of things in diagnosis. And when you're faced with one of the issues, like me, myself, anxiety, it's not easy it wasn't easy at first to admit that I had anxiety. Years ago, probably like 13 years ago when I first came down with it, I didn't know what it was. Didn't understand certain things that's going on my body. Didn't know it was probably an overstress load. Didn't understand what was going on. We had a loss around that time, in the family. So I never knew the reason why I had it. I just know that I was something was going on deep in my body. And then when I found out that I said it seemed like anxiety, I was saying it couldn't be anxiety 'cause to me that's what the patients have. I work with anxiety, and I don't like that, and I don't want to take no Ativan 0.5. Like, no, I don't want to be one of those people. That's not me. That's what I used to say. I was embarrassed to to feel like, or sad, scared to say that I was one of those people that I was talking to. At work. This is just me. How I was thinking. So it took one a good friend of mine to tell me, what would it hurt if you would take something like some medicine that would help you feel better, get out of your skin, that whatever's going on with you and whatever. And I'm saying to myself, because the medication they're trying to tell me I should take to ease my anxiety, so if I go, we get patients, whatever. I don't want to take nothing like that. I don't want to. So it took me a year to almost come to terms that I might need something to help me, relax and calm down. And then when I did, probably like 13 years ago for the first time, I thought, thank God that it is something that we have that can get us out of this stressor or whatever's going on that I can't seem like to control at the time. I'm happy through that time that I have found other ways and sources to deal with my anxiety, whether it's walking or, because sometimes anxiety hit, you don't know where it came from. I can be going to bingo, casino, and everything and feel great, and all of a sudden anxiety can hit. That's just what it is and how it happens sometimes. You can be overthinking something a year ago or things that you just don't know in that moment. One thing I did learn from that experience, now when I talk to the patient, I'm able to tell them that whatever illness you're dealing with, depression, schizophrenia, whatever it is, just know that you're not alone. Just know that some of the doctors diagnosing you guys also deal with schizophrenia, bipolar, depression, and whatever. But thank God for medication. Thank God for counseling. Thank God that we have these things that we can do to help us. Because just like blood pressure medicine, diabetes medication, we need it. Whatever. And sometimes if we need it, we got to take it. It's a chemical imbalance sometimes that we didn't ask for. Whatever, that we end up getting during genetics are going down, just stress in life, period. A lot of times, a lot of people come in the hospital because their parents want them to be doctors, whatever, and they lose their mind because of the stress of that, or the stress of losing their mother, or father, sister, and brother, just a life, period. Most everybody deal with anxiety and just don't know. What if I had to realize that this is not abnormal. It's okay to be not normal. Whatever people consider normal. So now I'm able to talk about it. I'm able to tell the patient in the hospital, listen, it's okay. What's not okay is not dealing with it. When you're on the outside and you start feeling yourself getting out of character or seeing things that you shouldn't hear, that's when you get the help immediately on the outside, but you don't have to come in on the inside so they can regulate your medication. And then the whole thing is about counseling and regulating your medication, your space, the surroundings you have around you, the people you keep in the company. All these things play a good part with your mental illness. Setting reminders for your medication. If you're the kind of person like taking your medicine, knowing how to set reminders, leaving pills at your mama house, sister house, brother house, somewhere where you won't forget. Because like I tell them, you miss one pill, you good. You miss two, you good. Three, up and down the street pulling off your clothes. You have to remember that this is your illness, and you have to take care of it. If you have diabetes, it is your illness. You have to check your sugar. It is nothing different. It's just taking care of it, and also supporting each other. Also know that, like Dion was saying, reaching out to people who you don't hear from or you may not see in a little while. Just reaching out to say, hey, how you doing? Because everybody that smiles don't mean they smiled on the inside. Whatever, just sometimes giving a hug. Whatever, these things help people. Because sometimes when you smile, that can brighten up somebody's day because you know what they was doing before they came in presence of you. You just don't know. So it's good to reach out to people. It's good to not to judge people. And I'm happy that through all this time, I'm able to say, hey, I have anxiety. I thank God I don't have bad anxiety because I know people have bad anxiety. Whatever. I thank God through the years, I learned how to deal with myself to where I don't have to take a medicine if I just really need it. But thank God if I really need to take it, I know that it's okay for me to take it. Whatever, not ashamed to say I have to take it. Whatever, I'm okay with that. Whatever. So um I'm just grateful, whatever, that I know now how to deal with things. I know how to talk to people that can show them other ways, tell them about support groups, how to reach out to people as an outlet for safety and things like that. So mental illness is very real, and it's very important that we spread love and a lot of information.
Yeah, that is true. And you know what? That's one thing I tell my patients that I see in clinic. My mental health, my patients that are mentally ill. I am not a proponent. I don't push medication on people. I don't prescribe medication. Psychiatrists prescribe medication. When people ask me, why did you be
Mm,
a psychiatrist? Because I don't believe in pushing medication. I do believe that medication is needed sometimes, but perhaps not as
mm,
much as
mm,
it is prescribed. Say it that way.
mm,
But sometimes it got my prescription right here. Proud to take it because it helps. But I didn't need as much medication that was being prescribed to me. I'll say that too.
mhm,
But I will say this: it's something you said that's very important. This is how I explain medication to my patients. Those who don't want to take it, those who don't believe in medication, the ones who I know need it. Very simple. There is a chemical off balance in your body somewhere. There is something that you're not quite getting enough of that's causing your body not to function the way that it should. And to me, it's just as simple as that. This medication is going to help to bring that level to where it needs to be so that you can function the way that you should. It's just as simple as that.
mhm,
You don't have it, your body isn't doing what it needs to do. It's causing you to do all these other things. When you have it, you're able to function at what's normal for you, what's
mhm,
regular for you, what's not going to cause you to slap your supervisor and get fired or go off on your children or sweat profusely, wake up too late. That's going to cause you to be able to function so that you're able to maintain some regularity and normalcy, whatever normal is, y'all, in your life. That's going to give you
mhm,
some balance in your life so that you're able to go along and get along, maintain a job, a relationship, a career, drive a car without wrecking it. That's what that medication is going to do for you. When you don't take it, because for every action, just like every non action, so there's a consequence for taking it, and there's a consequence for not taking it. And it's really that simple. And I just explain it just like that to children, and I explain it like that to adults. When you keep it that simple, they understand that. That's it. It's as simple as that. And Karma, you said that perfectly. And that's how I look at it too. I've never been embarrassed uh, to take medication. I'm grateful for it too, and I'm grateful too that I didn't have to be like a guinea pig and go through a lot of them before they found what worked for me. And I'm fortunate because the medication that helps my anxiety is the one I was already taking it for my back pain. So when you have extreme back pain, that back medicine doesn't help. They begin to give you psychotropic medication because of the extreme pain. That psychotropic medication was the medication that I needed to treat my anxiety. So that was good. And then I get extreme migraines every day. So I have to take something for my migraines every day. If I miss a day, those migraines they're horrible. I still get them with the medication, but they're a bit more manageable. And sometimes I still got to take Excedrin on top of that. So it's not easy, but that was a life changing event that still affects me to this day. There are days when I still can't get out this bed. I'm just in the bed because the pain is too great. And if you think that doesn't affect my mental health, there's a few conditions going on over here: PTSD and anxiety. And then there's sometimes depression. But you just can't allow those things to get in the way. So I'm celebrating May, mental health awareness. And I want people to know that Dr. Tatanisha Tim, she goes through it too. But y'all love me, and I love you because I want you to know that when you see me, I want you to see God. And the God I want you to see is the God of faithfulness and of hope and determination. Because I hope that I manifest that for you, that you can continue to go on and fight. And there's always a choice. I make the choice to keep going. I make the choice to have faith and to not give up. And just like these other two ladies today on this panel, that's what they're telling you. You have one that went from homelessness, that is educating people on how to care for their health through her experiences. You have one that's been in mental health for almost 30 years, that is dealing with her own mental health and proud of it. Again, what is there to be ashamed of? Nothing. We're able to tell you guys and give you guys some tips as you go through it too. There's no shame. I was listening to Stokely Williams from Mint Condition today. I love him. Y'all get some tickets, let me know. But I'm telling you, and he was talking a bit about mental health. You know, everybody goes through it. We're supposed to go through it, and we're supposed to talk about it. And it's amazing because before COVID, this thing was so taboo. It's like nobody talked about it. Well, I did because I don't really have secrets. Nobody wanted to talk about it. It was so hidden. It was so shameful. And I never could understand that. It's like people act like they don't have problems. Everybody got problems. I don't know nobody without them. All right. So we're going to get ready to close off for the evening. Ladies, I thank you for joining me. This is just the beginning. I would like for you guys to give your information again so that the viewers can reach out to you briefly again. Tell them why they're reaching out to you other than mental health information, of course.
Okay.
Okay.
You can contact me at www.
Wait. They cannot see. All they can see is your teeth. They cannot see your face.
Oh, hold on.
There you go.
I'm sorry. I turned it around because I turned it around so I can hear my speaker because I can't hardly hear you. Okay, I'm sorry. Dion Michelle Leslie, Dionne, Leslie, Leslie at Queen Unity Movement. If you Google Queen Unity Movement, I will pop up all over the place. And my email address also is queenunitymovement at icloud.com. And my website is www. Queen Services. If you know someone, you'd like to refer someone that needs help, you can put the information into the website and I can refer that person and get the proper resources. And then, of course, we have beautiful queens on here that are involved in mental health. So now we have mental health resources. And it's always a pleasure to see you, Dr. T. And it's also a pleasure also seeing you, Carmen, you beautiful queens. And I'll see you guys next time.
Okay. And then for me, I do soul food. I cook soul food. I also specialize in keto eating, healthy eating. Um, I do catering, and I cook sometimes on daily basis and sell. You can find me on Instagram at Karma's Soul Food Kitchen. That's Karma's KARMAS, just one soul food, SOULFOOD Kitchen. Or you can contact me on karma.gardner@yahoo.com.
And I understand you're going to be in the Gardena area selling food twice a month coming up. Is that starting in May?
Right. So I have a plan to start selling food in Gardena. I'm having a location coming really soon where I can sell these twice a month to my family and friends out in that area. Because I'm in Lancaster, so I'm right in the Compton, Lakewood, Long Beach, whatever Southside area really soon. So we'll be announcing that when we get ready to start that event as well. And I
And
want to
that's
say
gonna
thank
be
you. Thank you, Dion. And also, I
Welcome,
want to say
sis.
that, and I also want to say that it's okay not to be okay. And that's what I want to say. It's okay not to be okay.
Definitely.
yes, and I
Stay in the
do want
light. You're not alone.
yes. Yes, and also as a resource, I want to put up the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. They have it easier now. It is a text and SMS. So if you don't have an iPhone or whatever, it's okay. You can just simply dial whatever phone 988. And if you are online, their website is 988 Lifelong 988LIFELONG.org. All right. So you never have to be
Okay.
alone. Just reach out 24 hours a day. And Dion, I will tell you that Demi Scott did send a message through Facebook. She is asking you to call her. She has someone that is in need. I did see that message from Demi. Hi, Demi. Hi, Archie. Hi, Carnita. Hi, Annette. Hi, Candace. All right.
All
So
right.
if
No worries.
and I will check other messages, you guys. So we thank
All
you,
right.
thank you. Yes,
You're welcome.
that's
Thank you,
all.
guys.
So,
All right. Good night, ladies.
all
Good
right,
night.
thank you for blessing us with your presence. Tell your mom and your sisters that I said hello.
Will do.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. So I'll see
All
you
right.
soon. Thank
Good night,
you.
Dr. T. Good night, Carmen.
Good night.
Good night.